Washington is our focus next. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are holding their last debate before a vote on U.S. President Donald Trump's signature bill. Katie Nicholson is with us this morning with that story. So, Katie, the House of Representatives has been in session through the night. What is the latest?
Yeah, another marathon session on Capitol Hill. We had another one earlier in the week with the Senate, and this one is still going. House Minority Leader, you can probably see him, Hakeem Jeffries. He started speaking around 5 a.m., and he may take a long time here just to delay the actual vote. In fact, around 6 a.m., he told the House he would not be rushed. Here is Hakeem Jeffries around 6 a.m.
Because that debate was so limited, I feel the obligation, Mr. Speaker, to stand on this House floor and take my sweet time.
Now, this is known in the House as a magic minute. House leaders can speak for as long as they like. The current record in modern House history is 8.5 hours. That's held by Kevin McCarthy. That was in protest of Biden's Build Back Better bill back in November of 2021. And earlier this year, you might remember that Senator Cory Booker shattered a record in the Senate with a speech lasting 25 hours and 5 minutes. Not quite there yet, and it's really unclear when Jeffries intends to wrap here, but he's already been up for many hours. This current session began around 9 a.m. yesterday. But the motive is clear. It's all about trying to delay the vote, which at this point is inevitable. Once he stops speaking, that final vote will progress. There was a lot of frantic scrambling behind the scenes to make that happen over the last 24 hours. But Speaker Mike Johnson may be on the brink of fulfilling that very tall order of delivering Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill. So the small group of Republican holdouts, those 5 representatives, including members of the Freedom Caucus, possibly mollified after discussions with the president and his advisors through the night. Now, meanwhile, the president has been quite upset, frustrated, and he's expressed those frustrations on social media through the night, posting, "What are the Republicans waiting for? What are you trying to prove? MAGA is not happy and it's costing you votes." So Johnson appears to believe that they do have the votes now. They can only afford 3 defections from the party. He's clearly done the math. Their efforts to woo those vocal critics now will be put to the final test with this vote once Hakeem Jeffries yields the floor.
It is still early, so we have the day to watch out for that on, Katie. We're calling this President Trump's signature legislation, and there are campaign promises and key parts of this agenda in it. There is a big spending, and there are big cuts, too, so take us through that.
Right. So, I mean, it does take deep bites from the social safety net. We're talking about Medicaid, food security programs, in addition to driving up the national debt by an estimated $3.3 trillion over 10 years. But the other side of that is the Republicans are talking about how this is investing in the Pentagon, in defense, in border security. But the House Democrats have really been hammering that social safety net sort of dissolution over the last 24 hours on the floor. Here's former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
Tax cuts are expenditures. They're the biggest spending in this bill, to the tune of $5 trillion. $5 trillion added to the national debt to give tax cuts to the wealthiest people in the country at the expense of feeding our children, health care for our people.
But the bill's proponents say this puts more money into the pockets of Americans. It's going to lead to prosperity on Main Street and Wall Street. And the president insists that it will lead to massive economic growth. And they point to provisions on removing taxes from tips as serving the working class. Now, if this bill clears the last hurdle, it moves to Donald Trump's desk. He will get to sign it into law as he wanted, maybe by July 4th. It depends when Hakeem Jeffries decides to stop talking. But many in his party may soon face a reckoning. There are estimates that 17 million Americans may lose health coverage because of cuts to both Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. And there are fears about how this bill is going to impact rural health care. And these are all issues that may haunt Republicans coming up in the midterms.
All right. Thank you so much, Katie. That's our Katie Nicholson in Washington.